My name is Rag Reynolds and welcome back to Medium Rare. A few days back, Shane Dawson released his newest documentary style video, and this time it was on Eugenia Cooney. Now for those of you who are unaware, Eugenia Cooney was a popular YouTuber and streamer who basically went viral after concerns were spread about her physical well-being. These concerns were all in relation to her weight. When Eugenia first started off on YouTube, she was still very thin, but as time went on and as the years progressed, Eugenia began to get thinner and thinner. A lot of people were very concerned, especially in relation to the impact that she may or may not have been having on people who were watching her videos. There were people who were trying to get Eugenia banned from YouTube and from other platforms because they were worried that she was setting a bad example and was influencing some of her younger audience into maybe starving themselves because they wanted to be more like her. Obviously this is anecdotal, but for example, I once knew a younger girl who had her own fair share of issues, I must add, but she once confided in me and told me that Eugenia Cooney in her eyes was weight goals, and this girl used to starve herself over that. Now I don't fault Eugenia for that, but there are a lot of people who did fault Eugenia for that, and they wanted her banned off the platform and they wanted her to be held accountable for this sort of thing. And there are loads of examples of people all over the internet who have looked to Eugenia and thought that they wanted to be more her size. Anyway, a couple months back, a picture was posted to social media of Eugenia Cooney, and it turns out that Eugenia was in recovery and she was getting better. And in this picture you could clearly see that Eugenia had filled out a little bit more. She wasn't so thin, she didn't look so malnourished, she looked to be a bit healthier. So most people were very happy about that and very encouraging, and just everyone was glad to know that Eugenia was getting the help that she needed. Anyway, enter a few days ago, Shane Dawson comes out with his new video titled The Return of Eugenia Cooney. Now this video is essentially an hour-long documentary style vlog in which Shane Dawson gives a little bit of backstory on Eugenia, then he goes to visit her at her home and he has a little conversation with her about her recovery and all that sort of thing. But now what I want to talk about more than the actual video itself is the response to this video, and in particular a certain response. So the big one that everyone has been talking about is Jaclyn Glenn. If you don't know who Jaclyn Glenn is a a YouTuber with around 700,000 subscribers. She came out with a 25-minute video along with two of her friends who were also in the video with her, and they were being hypercritical of Shane Dawson's video about Eugenia. Now apparently Jaclyn and her two friends were good friends with Eugenia Cooney in the past, and essentially a lot of Jaclyn's criticisms and what she was saying in this video was that Shane Dawson's video was a lot of nonsense. She was saying that Shane Dawson has essentially come along with his hour-long documentary style video, puts it out there to millions and millions of people, and he is essentially saying, look, Eugenia's great, she's doing fine, she's getting better, everyone around her supporting her, everything is great. And that on its own obviously would not be an issue. That would be great. It's a nice feel-good video. But Jaclyn's issue was that she does not believe that these things are true at all. Jaclyn claims that Eugenia is, yes, in recovery, but no, not everything is great, and no, not everyone around her was being supportive of her. Specifically, her mother. Jaclyn claims that Eugenia's mother has a long history of being very manipulative towards Eugenia. For example, Eugenia could never actually go out of the house and go anywhere to meet friends or anything without her mother's say-so. In fact, Jaclyn even details how Eugenia's mother has a driver called Edgar who drives Eugenia from place to place, will wait for Eugenia outside of that place and then take her back home. Jaclyn basically just details in this video a lot of how her mother is so manipulative, and Jaclyn talks about how she never really said anything publicly or made too big of a push to try and get Eugenia help because she was too scared in case Eugenia's mother would no longer let Jaclyn associate with her. Jaclyn then goes on to talk about how Eugenia ended up actually getting the help that she needed. And essentially what had happened was Jaclyn and her couple of friends had lied to Eugenia, had arranged to go to an escape room for a day out together to hang out. But when Eugenia had arrived to Jaclyn's house, before they went there, it turned out that it was an intervention for her, and eventually health professionals came in and Eugenia ended up being committed and taken away to get better. Anyway, Jaclyn's video was met with a lot of criticism, a lot of people hating on Jaclyn for what she had said and for releasing this video at this time. Jaclyn then went on to release a shorter 3-minute version of events. And I must say, I do think her 3-minute video is much better, and I received it better watching it as well. I think the first 25-minute video was a bit too long, and most people aren't going to sit through that. So I do think it was a good thing that Jaclyn released that second 3-minute video. Anyway, what I want to talk more about now is the response, and whether or not Jaclyn was right in what she has done, or whether she was wrong in what she has done. Now, my initial I'm kind of in the middle, okay? But my initial feeling here is I think that Jaclyn has good intentions, and I think that she did the right thing in getting Eugenia help in the first place. However, I can see where a lot of people are coming from when they say that there could be a lot of complications that arise from Jaclyn actually posting this video. There are also a lot of people saying that Jaclyn's a hypocrite, she's happy to speak now but she wasn't in the past, or lots of other things like that. So what I'm going to do now is read you a few comments from under Jaclyn's videos. Going through these comments is seriously so confusing. So many people have so many wildly different opinions on this situation. I just hope that if Eugenia is still in dangerous situation, that someone is actually able to help her after all of this. I think that's a good comment to start out with, because yeah, people are very much split. And this isn't just one side versus another side. Like often you'll get, oh well, someone's on Eugenia's side, someone's on Jaclyn's side, someone's on Shane Dawson's. That's not what this is. Lots of people have lots of very, very different opinions on this. This isn't just black and white. This is a very, very complex situation. I think it would be irresponsible if you did not come out and say something. The abuse and manipulation need to be brought to light, and thank you for all that you have done to help her. This is what true friendship is. Looking the other way, pretending that everything is fine, that's not a friend. That's someone who is holding her hand to the grave. Someone needs to speak up, and unfortunately, you have been put into that role. I can't imagine how hard that must be, but you are doing the right thing. Period. I hope she can get away from her mother and continue recovery. I can't necessarily disagree with any of that. I think Jaclyn did do the right thing, especially getting Eugenia the help that she needed. I don't disagree with what you did behind the scenes getting her help, but it's gross uploading this video and exposing Eugenia like this, especially when she's still so fresh into recovery. This is her private life, not your information to give out to the public. I keep saying I do think Jaclyn's intentions were good. I think she had pure intentions, and I think she was doing it from the right place. The problem is, I'm not sure this is necessarily the right move at this time. It's fine to get her help, it's fine to talk about getting her help, but when you come out and you're exposing Eugenia's mother, it's not even about Eugenia here, it's about Eugenia's mother, and you're exposing her to the world, that's something that I don't really see anywhere good for it to go. I don't see what exposing Eugenia's mother to the world is going to do here. In fact, I think that exposing Eugenia's mother to the world and to YouTube could actually have some negative effects on Eugenia. If her mother is as manipulative as Jaclyn makes out that she is, then surely Eugenia's mother, now that she has been exposed, is going to hit back, and she might make things worse for Eugenia. That could cause a lot of unnecessary stress on Eugenia, and that could even cause Eugenia to relapse. It could cause her to spiral out of control. So I'm not sure it was necessarily the best idea. And yeah, that going back to that comment I just read as well, it was Eugenia's private life. I'm not so sure anyone is entitled to know. Even though it's a messed up thing, I'm not sure that the world is entitled to have this information. It seems to me more like something that should have been dealt with in private. If you believe that there's actually some abuse going on there, whether it's mental, physical, whatever, and someone's manipulating Eugenia, then maybe the correct move is to step in and speak to the police, to speak to authorities. I'm not sure that putting Eugenia's mother on trial on the internet is necessarily the best way to go about it. Although again, I do see where Jaclyn is coming from, and I think the intentions are good. The video with Shane was about her recovery, not the full truth, and to be quite honest, I don't think you should have posted the video. Did you do the right thing to save a friend? Yeah, you did, but sharing the full story should be her choice to make, not yours. I think you did the right thing with the intervention, but bro, she just got back on the internet. If she wanted to share her story, then the video would have already been posted. Basically the same thing we just spoke about. You need to listen to what she's saying rather than get offended. She felt bullied for a reason. Those feelings are valid no matter how you feel. This is about Eugenia, so you need to put your own feelings on the back burner for now. Eugenia mentioned in the video that she felt that what she had done was not enough for the people around her. The best thing you can do is be there for her and support her choices as an adult. Realize that she's taken a step forward and that making these videos are self-centered and are only going to push her away and make her take a step backward. Now what this is in relation to is Jaclyn and her friends in their video spoke about how in Shane's video Eugenia had made a comment about how some friends or some people on the internet had essentially been bullying her and pressuring her into doing certain things. Me personally and a lot of other people took that more as Onision rather than being Jaclyn, for example, but Jaclyn and her couple of friends obviously took that as being them. The video Shane made wasn't about the history of her recovery. It is her story, not yours. Of course not all the details were released because it's not our damn business. I don't like how people think she's recovered. Her recovery isn't over yet, and it's dangerous to paint out an eating disorder recovery as something easy or quick. It's not just one rehab trip, it's years of work. You missed Shane's point of the video. He wanted to make a video on her recovery, not the truth behind her. This is Tatty vs James Part 2. None of this had to be told to the public audience. You really couldn't let Eugenia have one good day, could you? I agree with that one to a certain extent. I'm not sure it's about letting Eugenia have a good day or not. I don't think that's what Jaclyn was thinking about. But I do agree that it's kind of one of those things that I'm not sure any of it had to be told to the public. I don't feel like telling the public any of this is going to have any positive effect or outcome on Eugenia at this point. Also, Shane's video is titled The Return of Eugenia, not The Truth of Eugenia. I don't think the intention of his video was to expose her or go behind the scenes of her ED in personal life. You're making it out to be that, and we all know that's not what Eugenia wants. This video was way too soon. People in these comments are completely missing the point of this video. Eugenia is still in trouble. Her mother, who refused to help her dying daughter and fought with the people trying to get her daughter help, still lives with her and is controlling her. The video is trying to expose that. I have to agree with this comment as well. If the things that Jaclyn is saying in her video are true, then yes, Eugenia does need more help. She is still in trouble because her mother is obviously a bad influence, a bad actor in her life. Shane specifically, although subtly, referenced he had to deal with her attorney. Also, he got advice from Katie on not what to ask, and part of that was not to ask what her disorder was. I did not find the video happy. It was horrific, sad, and scary. He did not have to leave the multiple locks in. He did not have to reference that mom was there, inferring she was watching everything. Also, it was obvious to anyone with common sense she's still massively underweight and that the voice with the constant smile came off as fake. I 100% doubt that Shane thinks she's fine, but he got in the door and exposed some of what is going on. I feel for her, but Shane did not have ads or a sponsorship. I genuinely think you all need to give him the benefit of the doubt, as he now has opened a line of communication with her and has brought her back to the public eye so people can try to see if she's recovering or being abused. Eugenia can tell her truth when she's ready. Do you not understand that she's being monitored 24/7? Who do you think watches videos before they're uploaded? Tweets? Literally any social media? She's basically being held captive by her own mother, who clearly has mental issues of her own. Yikes, this is awkward. I'll watch the entire video, but Eugenia never called y'all out by name. She was clearly talking about Onision. And yeah, that's about it. The last thing I want to talk about is someone had linked a video of Eugenia's in the comments section of one of these videos, and there was something quite concerning. It was at 5 minutes and 25 seconds of this video. I'm just going to play this clip for you to let you hear it for yourself.
It won't suck your hair in, and it won't make it so you, it won't.
Yeah, so in that clip, which is a real video on Eugenia's channel, you can kind of hear in the background there's some shouting going on while Eugenia's doing her hair, and it sounds as though someone's shouting something about, you're killing her, and then it sounds like a female voice shouts back, I want the money, or something like that. So people have been sharing this clip around and talking about it a lot, saying this is proof that her mother is abusing and manipulating Eugenia just to try and get money out of her. Anyway, some final thoughts. I don't have necessarily a big issue with Jaclyn. I think her heart was in the right place, as I've said many times. I think she has very good intentions. I think we should be thankful that she got Eugenia help in the first place. I also think that if Jaclyn is correct in the things she's saying, if she's telling the truth and that her mother is this bad, then yes, Eugenia still needs help and something needs to be done about that. But I also agree with the people who are saying that this video wasn't a great idea, because as I keep saying, I don't think it necessarily accomplishes anything positive for Eugenia. To me, it seems like this is something that should have been dealt with in private, behind the scenes, not in the forefront on YouTube. And as far as the Shane Dawson video goes, I think it is what it is. I don't think there's anything bad about it. He was just it's the return of Eugenia Cooney, as people were talking about. It wasn't supposed to be an exposed video. It wasn't supposed to be about the truth. It was just the return of Eugenia. And I think his video accomplished what it was supposed to accomplish. And that was bringing her back into the public light and showing people what's been going on with her as of late. Anyway, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts on this situation are in the comments down below. And until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds, this was Medium Rare, and you're welcome, society.